I'm trying to start them all off with my sprue cutters and then going in with my diamond cutoff wheel, because they're all of them are 6 gauge and they're huge. And you can see I have this little tree, I have this one, and then I have another one in the kiln right now that I'll be casting here in a minute. And the sprues are too big to use my cutters, so I've been cutting sprues for the last hour and a half now. And my hands are so tired. I'm trying not to use my cutters as much as I can because they just put way too much strain on my hands. So I'll just leave that there for, well, shoot, I'll move it. Yeah, so I figured this is the best time to like come on live when I have nothing to do but to sit here and chit chat. I will likely be here the entire rest of the day cutting sprues. Oh, a good piece of advice that someone gave me about cutting or sanding or anything like that is to put your, I don't know how I never thought of this on my own, but to put your pendant motor in reverse so that whenever it kicks out silver or dust, it kicks it the other way and not in your face, which is really funny because anytime I would do this part, I always hated doing this part because I would always get like silver dust stuck to my lip gloss or lipstick or whatever I was wearing that day. And now that doesn't happen. I haven't felt one piece of silver hit my mouth or clothes. Like I used to have to shake off my clothes over my catch tray. But now I don't. So. Hello. I'm good, how are you? This whole process takes so much time. Is like one of the reasons why I stopped casting for other people. This is a client's work. This is the last bit of client work that I have to do for casting. But it just is very like time consuming and a lot of work on my hands. It's just not possible to do this long term, cutting all these sprues and stuff and like trying to bend things back and forth. Like doing that for more than 30 minutes, your hands start to cramp up. And yeah, and for something like this big, like this bulk amount of work, I should have some kind of pneumatic sprue cutter, but I don't. And now that I'm not going to be casting for other people anymore, now I don't need a sprue cutter or like a pneumatic sprue cutter because all of the sprues that I use in my own work are small, and so I don't need that. But now I don't know how long this is going to take me to cut all this stuff off. But skincare, I'm glad you think my skin looks good right now. I had a lot of like milk in my coffee over the weekend, and I feel like it made me break out. But I use Neutrogena, a lot of their like pretty much nothing with perfume. So I use their like milky cream cleanser and their Hydro Boost water gel. I use that as well, and I use L'Oreal like retinol serum at night, and then sunscreen every day mixed in with my face lotion. That should be good. I am from Southeast Texas, but I live in Idaho. I gotta get these done because the sooner I can get this done, the sooner I can work on my stock for my new jewelry store. I open in 3 weeks and I haven't started any of my stock because I've been trying to get this stuff done. This last casting order has been a lot of work. Nice, very cool. Hello. Whew, it's getting really hot. I need to get my, I have some Japanese finger gloves from Pepe Tools that are really good for when your pieces get really warm. To grab those. Whew. Hoping I can cut this to a point where I can just bend it back and forth and break it off. Also, my class, for anyone watching this later, my classes are up on my website now. So if you have been wanting to learn how to make jewelry, wax carve, cast, stone set, any of that stuff, or like if you like the type of jewelry that I make, I've got 4 student benches now in my new place. I've shown it in some of my reels and in a recent video, but I made all the classes that I'm gonna have up until November, and they're on my website, and you can sign up now. I'll have to put it in the description whenever I'm done, but yeah, everything is up for signing up now. My studio is in East Idaho in Pocatello. So if you're in like the Pacific Northwest area or even California, we're just on this side of the country. Hopefully it wouldn't be too much of a hassle, but I've got people traveling from Michigan, someone coming from Washington, someone coming from California. So yeah, very, very, very excited about those in-person classes. Almost done with this tiny little tree. It's so hard to twist. You have to really like get almost to the middle before it'll let you twist it off. How's your day going? It's hard to grab this and twist it because there's a bunch of like pokey parts of silver on here. I don't want to get like a silver splinter. There's not really anywhere to grab to twist this off. a little more. It's been good. I haven't made a ton of progress, but yeah, it's going good. My hands are cramping. Hello, how are you? Are you working on jewelry too, Marquetta? Ooh, that's 2, 4, 6. I've got 8 cut off, and I've got 20 something to go. And I've been working on this since about before 1, like maybe like 12:45. Oh, that's fun. That's awesome. I love like a good just stone, like only stone setting day, nothing else. I'm gonna cut off all of these little vents to, it's easier to grab this big tree like to cut stuff off because these little vents will poke you. Yeah, it's a lot, and I've got a whole other one in the kiln that's just as big, so there's another tree coming. I get to cast it in about an hour and 22 minutes. I sent you a package. I got it on Saturday. I got it. Thank you so much for that. I put it on my kitchen table. I meant to message you, but I got that package and I was like, what is this and who is this from? Like, I didn't order anything. And then I, looked at the label and stuff, but thank you very much. It's gonna be very helpful. She sent me some resins so that I could practice casting some resin, which is very, very, very helpful. I really want to, like, not right now just because, I got way too much stuff going on, but I want to find a 3D, a CAD person and design some things with them and just see how it feels, not like stop working with wax or anything, but just to maybe have like a line of things that have been 3D printed, and then like maybe they could send me like the 3D prints of it and then I can cast it. I don't know. I love seeing like jewelry that's designed in that way, especially with it in resin. Like, it was really cool to look at it and look at all the detail that you've put into your pieces. It's insane. It's really cool. Very, very cool. What attachment do you use? What attachment do you use in your tool, and how often do you change it? Do you mean like this one? Like this attachment? That's a cutoff wheel, a diamond cutoff wheel, if that's the one you're talking about. I've never had to change it. I've never worn it down before, but I imagine after today it's probably going to be pretty worn in. But yeah. Hello. Let me know when you're ready and I'll get. Thank you. You're so sweet. I really appreciate that. Very much appreciated. If anyone like in the chat or in the future watching this has ever used a pneumatic sprue cutter, can you please tell me which one you have and if you like it? Because even though I'm not going to be casting for people anymore, I don't think that my hands can handle cutting sprues. Like, not in the near future, I'll be fine, but like, it's been about an hour and 45 minutes and my wrists are hurting, like this left wrist, just from like bending back and forth and bending back and forth. But yeah, I'm open to upgrading Picking up my first batch of castings today. I'm so excited. I already have 8 more price pieces done in order to make. Oh, that's awesome! I'm so happy for you. I love the magnetic tumbler. That was one of my favorite things I've gotten for like finishing work. I love the rotary tumbler, and I need to make a video about like a rotary tumbler versus a magnetic tumbler, because I love my rotary tumbler and I use it still, but I only use it for stuff like this, like bigger things. But that magnetic tumbler is so good. It gets everything so shiny, and it gets in the tiniest of places. Like the inside of my settings were never this clean, this shiny, until I started using the magnetic tumbler, just because they're so, like the little pins that go in it are so tiny. It's really good. Are you adjusting to your studio being out of your home now? Oh, don't say sorry. It was sweet that you were asking where I was. I am always like on, so I get how if I'm not on for like 5 days, you'd be like, where is she? Yeah, it's honestly, it's so nice. The only downside is just the drive, like if I need to come here for just a little while and then go back home. But it's so nice, so nice. I've never had this kind of like separation from my work. It's so nice to go home and to know I don't have to do, like I can't do anything, you know, everything is there. If I'm home, I got to do other stuff. I have to like cook or clean or I can watch TV, or I can do like admin stuff. Whereas when it was in my house, I was always like, if I never did as much admin work because my physical work was in front of me, and so I always chose my physical work over admin work. So now I feel like there's a really good balance, or there's going to be a good balance. And like whenever, like for example, we got Isaac a basketball goal for his birthday, and like they went out to go play basketball, and I went with them because I was like, well, I don't have any work I can do because it's all over there, you know, I'll go play basketball with you guys. Like it is very nice to not have your work in your house. It is very nice. And it's good to not be distracted from like the house, you know. The Vever, oh, is it a Vever? You got a Vever magnetic tumbler? Is it good? I like Vever. I got their microscopes, I got their ball vices, and it all works really well. Yeah, I like their stuff. Okay, let's try and cut these off. Not magnetic though. Oh, a tumbler. Okay, gotcha. I like a good tumbler. It's just when you end up making something super dainty, or just anything with like a small setting, usually those, like the shot in the magnetic tumbler or the rotary tumbler can't reach into those teeny tiny places. Or like when I make stuff that has a lot of heavy texture, and I would put it in the rotary tumbler, it would polish the outside, but inside the lines of the texture, if that makes sense, like in the swirls of it, it would still be white. But with the magnetic tumbler, it can really get in there. And then it's also just more gentle on it too. Do you have pearls or mother of pearl? I don't. I've never done that. I'm sorry. I love mother of pearl though. It's really pretty. That's good, Lori. I'm glad. I always love it when you can get something really good on a budget. Vever makes really good quality stuff. They make a huge rate. Yeah, they've got, I have a ball vise and a microscope from them, and I have like a metal table from them that my kiln sits on top of. But I remember being on their website and seeing like shop tools and hospital tool, like they have such a wide range of stuff, you know. There are some things that I'm skeptical of. Skeptical? Why does that sound weird, skeptical? But yeah, the things that I've gotten so far, I've really liked from them. I'm happy with it. UK has not been bright since you left. You're sweet, but I will say I don't think the UK was ever bright with sunshine. I just remember rain all the time. But I do love the UK, and I do miss the rain. One of my favorite things about Idaho is how sunny it is. But every now and then you want a good like rainstorm, you know? Can't you just use cutting disc in your Fordham to cut the sprue? There we go. Sorry, I was late to your message. The only thing that I have to be careful of, the reason why I'm not using it the whole time is because these are so close together that I have to be careful not to hit one next to it. So I try to give it like a good little starting snip so that I don't have to stay in that spot for too long, because the longer you're there, the more likely you are to skip around and catch some other one. So I try to be really careful, but even the cutoff wheel, like I'm glad I have this, because I would be so screwed if I didn't have this cutoff disc. But even it takes a long time, you know. Okay, we'll get it done. I have a shear from Bever for my jewelry making as well. A shear. Oh, like a one that goes like a guillotine kind of. I just saw my question. Liliana, I don't know if I saw your question. Let me go back. Love this, Liliana. I don't see anything other than you saying love this. I'm sorry. Could you ask it again? I'm sorry. I'm good. How are you? I'm not sure if this would work for sprues, but I have a pair of cutters from Ace Hardware that work well for thicker pieces. It has a longer handle, so there's more leverage. You know, I might go to Harbor Freight and see what I can find. Like these right here these are from Rio Grande. They're like specifically for sprue cutting, but they can't cut a 6-gauge wire. And then I tried to use some that I got from Harbor Freight in the past, but I'm thinking that maybe I wasn't looking at the right thing, but the head was too big to fit in here, you know what I mean? Like all of the ones with the bigger amounts of leverage, these parts are like chunkier, and so they can't get in, like in there, you know what I mean? You know? If I'm not done cutting these by today, maybe I'll stop by Harbor Freight on my way home and just look and see if there's anything that can help. This is taking way too long. Shear saves so much time. I'll have to look. Knipex makes amazing snips. They're like mini bolt cutters. Okay, is that a brand that's at Harbor Freight? I only keep saying Harbor Freight because they're really close to me, and I could run there in like 9 minutes and grab something. Sorry, I'm just cutting like the excess of that one off. Where did you get your magnetic tumbler? Do they work hard in the metal? I got mine with Pepe Tools. It's called a super finish tumbler. Hang on, let me turn the slide off back here. It's called a super finish tumbler, and it does not work hardened, and that's another reason why I like it, because if I put a ring in there that I'm gonna set stones in, it's not gonna make my job harder later. And like a tumbler, it doesn't work harden your pieces like too badly, but it does more than the magnetic tumbler for sure. I have cutters too. I have trouble cutting sprues too. Cutting sprues is worse. It is the worst. Knipex is its own brand, pricey but worth it. Okay, I'll have to look. Maybe just Google it and find a website or something. Thank you, Kara. I appreciate that. Can you still not see my question, Liliana? I'm so sorry. No, I don't see anything. The last thing I see from you, Liliana, says, sorry, IDK, if you saw my question. Olivia channel, planning on creating my girlfriend doing, oh, thank you, Tristan, and that's really cool. That's very, very, very special. I don't remember what the name of the guy is. I have him on Instagram. I don't remember his name. But he made his fiance's ring and then made the box that it went into. He used a lot of his jewelry tools and like a lathe to carve a wooden box for the ring. And I thought that was so sweet. So if you got a little extra time, maybe you should do the box too. Does a regular tumbler workhorse post? Does a regular tumbler workhorse post for earrings? Oh, work hard. I'm sorry. Just go a little further down. Work harden? No, it doesn't. So you want to take, when you need to work harden your post, unless you already know how. You might already know how. You probably already know how, Lori. But if you don't, it's okay. Just take your ear posts. Here, I'll show you on this one. I need to polish this earring. It's been a while. And you just grab your post, okay? I usually grab it just like in there like that. Twist to the right, and then twist to the left, and then you can grab it in another way. Sometimes I go like flat on it if I can usually get it. It can be a little tricky sometimes. That's why I like to go from the sides. And you want to start, I usually do the middle as well, like go in the middle, go there, and then go down to the tip, and then twist back that way. And you'll feel the resistance, like you'll feel it hardening up. Clearly I didn't do this one very well. This is my own personal earring. And you just twist back and forth like that, and it'll make it really, really hard, and then just sand and polish it. But that's how I work harden all of my ear posts. Can others see me? Oh, yeah. I can see what you're typing, Liliana, but I don't see a question. No, it doesn't break the post, Lori. You'll be totally fine as long as you're not like pulling it that way. When you're twisting, you're just twisting the metal, like the actual length of the metal, not like the base, you know? The base never moves, only the actual ear post. And you'll feel it get a little tight, a little more tight, a little more tight, and then you'll know in your brain when you're good and you can stop because you'll feel enough resistance. I hope that helps. Maybe if you cut off the cast button first, you can come in with a bigger cutter. Maybe you're on to something. The closest airport to your studio. The closest airport okay, I would check a few different airports. So the closest airport is the Pocatello airport, but it's not an international one. It's not like a big one. So that one might be expensive. So then I would check Idaho Falls airport, and that one is a little more busy. And then if that one is, I would check against that one, Salt Lake City. Because sometimes it can be so much more cheap to fly into Salt Lake City that it can justify renting a car and driving. It's like 2.5 hours from Salt Lake City. If you're okay with driving, you can rent a car, and they have rentals at the airport in Salt Lake City. So I would check Pocatello, but just know it's not very likely. And then I would check Idaho Falls, and then check that price against Salt Lake City, and then you decide if it's worth it, if it's that much cheaper to just drive in from Salt Lake City. You're welcome, Lori. Back and forth on either casting it or buying the shank and ring and soldering them together. I had a company create some wax models, and it's been my model I'm working off of. Casting or buying the shank and ring and soldering them together. I don't know. I don't know. I guess it's just going to be personal preference. I think buying the shank and soldering it together, like the head, is probably going to be easier. But casting it would allow you to stick with like your own design, you know, like, or be more of your design. Have you ever thought about doing permanent jewelry? No. I don't think there's much of a market where I am, but also you don't really make that much off of that, and I can't divvy up my time amongst other things anymore. Awesome. Thank you so much. You're welcome, Liliana. How long have you been living here? Like living in Idaho? I've been in Idaho for 2 years. 2 years. July was 2 years. Gone by really fast. I feel like I've lived here for a long time. Sorry, I got a ring notification that said someone was at my door. I guess Cutter has 60mm long legs. Jeez. Have you managed to work with platinum yet? No, I haven't. How many places have you been to? How many places have I been to? I have been to Japan. I've been to England, Scotland, Wales, Ireland, Belgium, Norway, France, Italy, Sweden, Mexico. We are very lucky living in the UK. It was so easy to travel. You thought about giving 9 courses? What about giving 9 courses like the one you'll do in your new studio? Congrats about it. Thank you. Thought about giving 9 courses like the ones you'll do. Oh, do you mean online courses? Sorry, I was reading that very literally. Online, no, I'm not super interested in creating an online course. That is what I have my Patreon for, so I can help people online, and I try and answer questions like within 24 hours. I have a bunch of videos on there, but creating an actual online dedicated course takes a lot of time and work, and I'm not in a place to like dedicate that time right now. Maybe one day, like you never say never, you know, but as of right now, no. Let's see. I look so pretty on your studio when you're working. I like just look at it. You're so sweet, Liliana. Thank you. Have you been to Vermont? I've never been to Vermont. Washington, D.C. is like the furthest I've been on that side. I've never been really anywhere in the Northeast. I'd love to take stone setting class from you. Oh, I'd love that, Lori. I'd love to meet you in person. That's one thing I'm really excited about. Like with the people that I talk to on a daily basis, actually meeting them in person. Even if they just come and say hi in the studio, like if you're ever just passing through East Idaho, if you're ever like in this area, just come say hi. Like you don't have to buy jewelry, you don't have to take a class, just stop in and say hello. My doors will be open on Fridays and Saturdays, so if you ever just happen to be in the area, then come say hi. What's the temperature on a melting furnace do you use for sterling silver? What's the best casting result? What grain do you usually use? So casting temperature for silver for me is 1,780 degrees Fahrenheit. 1,780 degrees Fahrenheit. And then I get my 925 sterling silver casting grain from Rio Grande, and it's always been good for me. How do you design your jewelry, on wax or computer? On wax. Everything for me starts on wax, and then I make a mold of it, and then I cast it, and then I can inject my molds later if I need to inject. Let me see if I can cut this one the rest of the way. Yeah. I want to visit one day there. I mainly want to meet you one day. I'm sure we'll meet one day, Brianna. Would you allow men to come and say hello? Not when you word it like that. That's kind of a creepy way to word it, if you ask me. How would you orient a flat triangle shape to have the least turbulence and get the best cast? A flat triangle shape to have the least turbulence and get the best cast. So if it's completely flat, the only thing that I would do, I would add sprue. So to see if I can, okay, just pretend that this is flat, okay? And pretend that it's a triangle. And pretend that this is the back of the triangle. I would add a 6 gauge sprue on the back. If you need to add 2 sprues, if it's really big, then add 2 sprues. I would put a 6 gauge sprue on the back, and then I would take like a really tiny, like these are the vents that I put on this. I already cut all the vents off, but these are the size vents that I use. So yeah, I would take some sprue wax and I would put it at the very top of the triangle. If it's flat, this is like a key to casting like flat pieces. Put a venting sprue at the top of the flat edge. I would put 2 venting sprues because flat pieces cool really quickly, and if it cools too fast, then it won't fill all the way. And flat pieces have a tendency to have trapped air, and so you need those vents for the trapped air. Like if there's any trapped air, it'll flow through to those vents, and the trapped air will end up there instead of in your piece, and it'll help it fill all the way. So just make sure you're using a really big sprue and that you have some vents on there. Just put 2 little, and when I put them on, I don't make the vents super long. They're maybe 2 to 3 millimeters long. They're not super long, but that will help you. How often are your in-person classes going to be? I've got them scheduled every week, Wednesdays and Thursdays, and then once a month on a Friday and a Saturday. So Wednesdays and Thursdays, and then once a month, Fridays and Saturdays, because I'm open on Fridays and Saturdays to the public because there's a lot of foot traffic, and so I don't want to take away from the foot traffic by having classes every weekend, and then I can only do 2 days a week because I need to keep my business running and make all my jewelry and stuff. So I'm trying to find a really good balance, and things could change in the future, but that's how I'm going to have it in the beginning. Is it possible I'll be visiting Utah? I just didn't want to overstep a boundary and wanted to clarify. Okay. No, if you want to stop in and say hello, this is not a girls only club. It's just like a funny way to word the question. But if you stop by and you want to say hello, everyone's welcome. Stop by on a Friday or Saturday. My favorite piece that I make is probably my Andromeda ring. I really, really like that one. I don't have it here to show, but thank you so much, dude. I've been following your channel. This is great to know. Thank you. You're welcome. It's interesting. I've never used a venting sprue. Yeah, whenever I started casting these hollow pieces, I learned how, now every single time I cast her stuff, they come out really well because of the venting sprue. So anytime I am casting something really, really thin, like completely flat or hollow, I add a venting sprue. If it's a normal ring, like a signet ring or like one of these, I don't add a venting sprue. But if it's anything hollow or on the thinner side or a flat side, like really flat and long or wide, I add vents and they work. It helps really well. Love your channel. Is ready to find jewelry vlogs like yours. Thank you. Learn mold making, polishing tricks, and even what packaging. It's an amazing nudge. Thank you. That means a lot. Thank you. I love my channel and I put a lot of work and effort into it, and so it really, really, really makes me happy when it's appreciated. Hey, Mark! I didn't know you were on the tube. Thank you. Mark's a good guy to follow. He's on Instagram. Maybe you have a YouTube too, I don't know. But he's a really good engraver and a really good tattoo artist. And yeah, thank you, Mark. Any plans to do satellite or mobile pop-up classes? You mentioned DC. I'm from there and learned everything from you. So, oh, that's awesome. I did jewelry smithing and watchmaking. That's very cool. No, I did get invited to teach a class in Oregon, and I think I'm gonna do that in the spring. So I might travel around to other studios to teach, to help those that can't fly out here. I can't do that very often because I have a 10-year-old and I don't want to leave all the time. So, but every now and then I will. And then I got offered to go to California and teach in a studio as well. So I am open to going and teaching classes that are like 2 to 3 days. But nothing like mobile, like on that smaller side. But what age would you recommend your jewelry? Anyone can wear any jewelry at any age. Adriana, have you ever done sand casting? I tried Delft clay casting one time. It did not work for me, but that was my fault. I didn't have my metal hot enough, and I didn't have the right torch to get my metal hot enough. So I just didn't know what I was doing. Do you know anyone that teaches in Austin? I don't. I get to have a 5 and 7-year-old and I'm in a wheelchair. Yeah. It's hard to like go when you've got kids, especially little kids. Like that 5-year-old, I'm sure they're like, where are you going? When are you coming back? Don't go. My 10-year-old at least is like, go, have fun. I'll just stay here and play video games the whole time. Have you ever been to South Carolina? Yes, I've been to South Carolina. I used to live in North Carolina. I like the Carolinas. It's very nice. Where did you get the venting sprues? You've always been talking about. Thank you. I used like a wax, what's it called? A wax wire assortment. So you can find it on Amazon. You can find it on Rio Grande. Just type in like wax wire assortment or assortment of wax wire, and it's nice because then you can use those sprues for any size piece of jewelry. You can decide what size you want, but that's where I pulled the tiniest of sprues from. I think I might have it right here. Let's see. Yeah, right here. I've had these for a long time, a very long time, and I think I used the 18 gauge. We're just having an assortment, and because before I had this, I didn't know what a 6 gauge was versus 8 gauge, or what 18 gauge was versus 16 gauge. Like I couldn't picture that in my head, you know. So that's why having this was really helpful, because then it, you know, it's got the little chart on it. And then eventually, like, it just starts to, like, you start to remember, but yeah. All right. I like sitting crisscrossed in my chair, but I have to use my cutoff wheel, so I need my feet on the ground. Oh my gosh, you guys, I feel like I'm avoiding cutting these off. I'm tired of this, Grandpa. That's too damn bad. You heard that meme? I keep hearing it in my head. I'm tired of this, Grandpa. I gotta go a little bit further with this one. Just being stubborn. I'm cutting this and daydreaming about I'm making shrimp tacos for dinner. I'm so hungry. Had a Lunchable and a coffee for lunch, and so I'm very hungry, and I'm just thinking about food. I'm gonna roast them on the barbecue pit, some shrimp, and I make a purple cabbage slaw. It's so good. Oh, it's so good. So you take like purple cabbage. I know we're making joy, but we can also talk about shrimp tacos. But it's purple cabbage, and you make a sauce out of sour cream, cilantro, like a shiz ton of cilantro. I like to roast a jalapeno and put that in there too, with like 5 or 6 cloves of garlic, some cumin, some chicken bouillon, and you blend it up, and it makes this really yummy sauce. And then you put that on top of your purple cabbage and you toss it in there. It's so good. And then you season up your shrimp and you put it on the barbecue pit and you sear them really nicely. And then I put Mexican cheese on top with an extra drizzle of the dressing and some raw onions and some cilantro. And it's so good. And just toast up some corn tortillas. And it's so crunchy and like fresh and just so good. It's so good. I love food. And I am willing to do a lot of work for good food. Like, I'm willing to light up the barbecue pit and like roast some of my shrimp in there. I love food so much. Is really good. Recipes. Maybe I'll have like my menu on my website can be rings, classes, food. Cooking and baking, that's awesome. I wish I enjoyed baking as much as I don't like to cook. I just like food, so I cook. But I've never been a good baker. Although I will say, Isaac and I were trying to perfect our banana bread, and the first time it came out, it overflowed in the oven. There was banana bread like pouring down on the burners on the bottom. And then the next time it came out good. I don't remember, there was something still off about that one. I don't remember what it was. Yeah, and then the last time we made it was really, really good. That's the only thing I've ever baked from scratch successfully. It was like chocolate chip banana bread. My neighbor threw out his grill the other week and I grabbed it, fixed it, and I go, oh, that's awesome. What a good free find. That's really cool. Actually, cooking very good meat in Commando grill. Never come back to regular grills. Oh, I don't know what a Commando grill is. Is it like a smoker or what is that? What makes the best banana bread? Oh, that's awesome. My Tom can only make rice and macaroni. He can't make or bake anything. I think if it were up to him, like if I died and he had no one to make him dinner, I feel like he would just eat like grilled cheese sandwiches every day. Or like oven baked chicken pot pies. He likes those a lot, like the frozen chicken pot pies. He likes food, but it's not worth it for him to cook it, you know? I think he'd rather starve. Probably bake 10 or 15 grapes. Oh, that's awesome. That's really cool. It's a good skill to have. Ceramic grills, they smoke as well. Depends on adding wood chips or not. That's so easy to cook, restaurant level, anything. Oh, that's cool. I'll have to look into those. I feel like I can picture exactly what you're talking about. But that's cool. My favorite thing to cook, it might be those shrimp tacos. I really like those. I also make really good gumbo. I do. I am from Texas, and I did learn how to make gumbo a long time ago. And I make good gumbo. I got high gumbo standards. But I do like making gumbo too. Does anyone else put their old bananas in the freezer and save them for banana bread, but then forget about them months later? Yeah, and then they're like growing icicles on them. I'm glad I'm not the only hungry person in here. Oh yeah, okay, I do know what you're talking about, yeah. I saw someone using one to cook like a giant, it looked like a giant flounder, and it was a really tall egg-shaped, like a really pretty rusty red color. It almost looked like, what's the brand of pot of like, they make really nice pottery, or not pottery, but like dishes, and they're all porcelain dishes, but they're all really colorful. Anyway, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Thanks for telling me the name. How's the shop going? It's going really good. I'll give you a little tour real quick. We did some stuff today, or this weekend. Like we hung up the lights right there, and a mirror, and the little hand paper towel holder thingy-majig. Here, I'll take a break real quick because I'm gonna be casting here in a minute, and this will probably be it. I said where in Texas? I'm from, do you know where Orange, Texas is? I'm from really close to Orange, Texas. Close to Galveston, close to Houston in the southeast area. Okay, real quick, I'll show you what the studio's looking like so far. So, we got that hung up. It's kind of messy in here. I've been working with like everything, like knowing that no one's in here, but we hung up the sloth picture. He's in here. Tom got measurements for this. He's gonna make some legs for it because these legs got broken in transit, and so the insurance for the shipping paid for it, and I got to keep the top, so Tom's gonna make me legs right there. I got my Kaya Cast XL up here, so I have my little one that I'm gonna take home, and for casting at home. I'll try not to cast at home very frequently, but at least I have it. So we got that up here, and then we hung up some of the TVs. I have 2 more coming, but these TVs are gonna be for each workstation. He wants to be petted so bad. I know, he's a sweet boy. I love having him here. So everyone will have their own TV. So you'll sit here, and you'll have your TV right here, and I have my camera set up to point at my bench, and it will project on the TV. So you'll be able to watch like really up close of me stone setting or wax carving. So when I'm trying to like demonstrate, everyone will be able to just like look at their TV and then do whatever work they need to do. Sweet boy. So we got the TV set up, and then what else did we get done in here? Oh man, I think that's pretty much it this weekend. I had to do a bunch of casting stuff like that tree, and then I also figured out how to use my vinyl cutter because I have to do my own like window vinyl because I couldn't find anyone to help me with it. So I figured out how to use that. I was stressing about that. I've never used any sort of vinyl maker ever. And so I figured out how to use that. And so now I just need to design and make and stick it on the window in like a straight, not crooked way. So yeah, that's how it's all coming along. And yeah, this is like the view from my bench. So all the student benches up here. I want to eventually get like a table, a running table for right here. So if we want to like sit right here and all talk or whatever, or when the people eat lunch, they can sit there too. But yeah, I haven't touched that at all. the display cabinet, I still have to stain it, make back doors for it, put lights in it, change the green carpet. There's just a lot of work, and like all the while finishing up this casting stuff and orders, making stock, finishing the stock. It's a lot. It's a lot for one person. I'm just taking like little bites at a time and trying not to get overwhelmed. I just like focus on whatever I'm doing right in front of me and then like worry about the rest later. There's a lot of stuff. That medium really good to me. Oh, I'm a North Texaner. Ah, my mom is a North Texaner. She's from Longview, Texas. Where in North Texas are you from? Awesome shop, nice, modern, doesn't look like an industrial warehouse like some places where classes are. Thank you, that means a lot. I always want everything to feel like as homey as it possibly can, so that makes me very happy. Thank you. For the people who are not able to meet you, would you be open to FaceTime? Maybe one day. Very nice. Thank you, Lori. Do you know the soapy trick for getting your window vinyls placed straight? No, I do not, Mark. You got tips for me? I will take them. I've never done anything with vinyl, and I tried to find like some videos and stuff, and it just all the vinyl videos that I find are like for t-shirts or for like magnets for your car, you know? My bangs are just doing their own thing today. I did get something on Amazon called something tack. It's like an orange solution, something tack, and it says it's to help you, like to give you more time to move your stencil around or whatever. I was just gonna cross my fingers and hope for the best. Keller near Fort Worth. Okay, cool. Very cool. Always like meeting a fellow Texaner. I do love Texas. In Hatton Gardens, jewelry shops got their workshops exposed so you can take a peek. How people are learning and working at benches is quite cool, but not for everyone. Oh, that is cool. So you get to watch them work, like their studios are open as well. I think it's cool. I think it's gonna be a part of the experience. I like that my workspace is in my storefront. I'm excited to show people that are like wanting to buy jewelry or like in here, like looking at my work and stuff. I'm excited to let them come back here and see where I work and what I do and all of that stuff. I think it's gonna be really fun and a fun like aspect to buying jewelry, you know? Being able to see where it was made and everything. Thank you, Krishna. Thank you. Any benefit to the way you carve the wax? Because I see most people are using 3D printers. Yeah, a lot of people do 3D design, like CAD design now, but I don't know how to do CAD design, and so I still use wax. But also, I design most of my pieces around a stone. Like, I don't draw them, I don't pre-plan them out. And so for someone like me, it could be really hard to come up with something in a computer without having touched it, you know what I mean? Like I need to be able to use it or like work in wax and stuff. And I like all of the organic textures that I can get. I like how like literally hands-on it is. I personally enjoy that. Now I'm open one day to still making my master copies, but then having a 3D person, like a 3D designer, like a CAD designer, spruce it up a little. I'm okay with that, and then having files to be 3D printed. But as of right now, one thing at a time. I really enjoy like my process of wax carving. But yeah, there's tons of benefit to using like CAD. Like I think it's really smart. It's a good way to scale your business. It's a good way to have like more symmetrical pieces, to have like really fine symmetrical work. I think it's really smart. But everyone has their preferences. I need to look at the product name, but you spray the soapy solution on the windows and allows the vinyl to be placed and then straightened out, and then, aha. Okay, I think, oh, it's called Rapid Tack. That's what I bought. When I was looking up the vinyl, it was one of the, you know how on Amazon it'll say, other people that bought this, bought that, and then it was one of those things. And it had really good reviews, even though I didn't really know what it was for, and I bought it. So hopefully that's what you're talking about. I'm hoping that that's what it is, because it also came with a squeegee. So hopefully that's what that is. I don't remember what part of South Carolina we went to. I think it was to some like museum, some like old closed base or something that Tom wanted to go to. I was checking good out the Problem with CAD software. If it's really expensive, software focused on jewelry making. Yeah, like the software that Stoller sells, Matrix Gold. That one is very expensive, but it looks like it's a lot easier to learn than Rhino at least. But yeah, 3D software is very expensive, and it's a huge learning curve. Like I downloaded a free version of Rhino, and I followed a step-by-step tutorial, and I could not figure out how to get it. Even like following someone's tutorial of like, do this, now do that, and then do this. I don't know why. It wasn't working. It was definitely me. You know, I was the problem, but yeah, it's something that you gotta go learn from someone. Splash application fluid. Okay, I'll have to look that up. Thank you for telling me about that. Thank you, Mark. I can't really draw enough demands. Yeah. Ballpark, how much does a retail store for rent cost per month? You need a business license. Will you be hiring anyone to work for you in the future? I hope I'll be in a place to hire someone. I could use all kinds of help. But like financially, I'm not in a place to hire someone right now. I've heard of people's rent costing anything from $1,200 to $2,300, but it depends on where you are, where you're located. Like for me in East Idaho, it's probably cheaper than it is for someone in like New York. You know what I mean? So yeah, it can be anywhere between there. Thank you, Mark. I just got your text. Thank you. How expensive is the real? You can master any jewelry making skill. Which would you choose? Oof. Probably engraving. That would be really cool. Like being really good at engraving, like Mark. You can use Blender. They're free and have a lot of tutorials. I can produce STL files you require 3D printing. I'll have to look at that. I've heard of Blender. It's just something I have to put on my list of things to do because the list is fucking long. I'm sorry. Dental technician in Texas. I use Blender, open source, a lot of dental and jewelry stuff. Thank you. It's knowing that a lot of people use it makes me have more hope. I need to like find time and sit down and really actually try and learn. Your fun options for getting jewelry are both ZBrush and Nomad on the iPad. Thank you. ZBrush and Nomad. Just so much to learn with like 3D design, because not only do you have to learn how to actually make it, but then you have to learn how to print it, which means you have to learn how to use a 3D printer, how to troubleshoot a 3D printer, how to clean it or whatever you have to do. And then you gotta learn how to cast it. It's definitely something you gotta like mentally prepare for to jump into, like learning something so different. About vinyl, I applied frosted film on garden doors with soapy water. 7 years, it's fine, not yellowish. Oh, that's cool. Looks like real frosted glass. Also on sunshine, it gives rooms. That's cool. That's good. I'm going to find somewhere that can buy the counterparts part. Ooh, I wish I knew anything about that. Don't necessarily ask if you have an engraving question, homegirl. I know I'm going to have jewelry casting questions. Okay, I just never want to bother you. But thank you, I appreciate it. I know you're open, an open book. Come on. I hate it. I hate cutting sprues. Look how much I have. I'm kicking myself so hard right now. Like, why did I not buy a pneumatic system earlier? Like, what's wrong with me? change to my big blade. I have no idea. I don't remember what museum it was. That was 6 years ago. 6 years ago. All my friends left me. Do you use natural or lab gemstones? I've used both. I offer both as well if people have like different budgets and stuff. The only thing I don't use is synthetic gems, but I'm willing to use natural or lab. I love a good affordable option for people, especially when, you know, chemical makeup is all the same. So whatever someone prefers, I can do it. Who do you use for an online gem source? I use Rio Grande a lot and Columbia Gem House. They're really great as well. Do you do lapidary? Nope, no lapidary work for me. I don't know if you guys heard that timer just go off. All right, I have to go calculate metal and put it in the melting furnace for my flask. I have one of the biggest. It's the second time I've cast one of these big flasks. It's like a 5-inch flask, I believe. That's the largest I've ever used. And I gotta go melt the metal, and the photo of the weight of the wax is on my phone, so I'm gonna need that. So if anyone has any more questions, put them in now or forever hold your peace. But we'll also do another live later this week. I'll come back. Anytime when you have a question, don't think you're enough to use. Thank you. That means a lot. Thanks, Mark. You too. You can always, if you ever need anything and I happen to know it, you can just let me know. If you think you've had problems with casting and the time it takes to cast 3D resins, it's very specific. Oh, thanks for answering questions. Hope you're good. Yeah, you're welcome. Have a good day, Lori. Have a good day, Brianna. Thanks for hanging out with me, guys. I'll talk to you again later this week. I enjoy doing these lives with you guys. Thank you, Mark. Have a good day. Find the end button.